Hello, everybody. This is Zach Said It Again. I'm your host, Zach Cooley, and I am very thrilled to be here with my longtime friend, one of the funniest people I ever met, and coolest people, Mr. Ryan Lyall. Thank you for being with me, Ryan.
Yes, sir.
It's very nice to have you. We go back a very long way. We became friends officially on New Year's Eve 2009 when you got to be a plus one when me and you and your brother Lucas went to see Jeff Dunham in Charlotte on New Year's Eve. Been friends ever since. I have lots of. You and your brother are responsible for some of the most fun memories I've ever had. You would call me up and say, like, you're going to do this poker tournament with me, and you're going to be in the fire prevention parade. And the next thing I knew, I was up in a fire truck with you. So things like that were really cool. And Lucas would say, you're going to spend the night. And then I'd wake up in the morning and your mom would fix me homemade waffles. So, I mean, very awesome memories with you and your family, and I appreciate that very much. But we're talking today about a photo, your photo. Actually, it's a picture your mother took of you that won a contest. You want to explain the photo and what it is and the contest that you won?
Well, that's one of our things we do on weekends. You know, we try to go pretty regularly. There's private four-wheelers up in the mountains. We go to West Virginia. We go to deeper into Southwest Virginia in the mountains. But that was, we were all just hanging out. We were riding with a couple new people that I'd never met. And we'll stop and chit chat. And there was a mud hole nearby that the one guy was like, "Oh, I wouldn't hit that. That's too deep." So, yeah, I took that as a challenge.
You were gonna hit it or die.
Yeah, I gave my phone to Mom. I said, "Watch this." I said, "It's either gonna be awesome if I make it, or it's gonna be funny if I don't."
Right. And either way, you're cool with that.
Oh yeah.
So I take it from the picture that you did make it.
Oh, yeah.
And when you say we go out, are you talking about you and your brother or you and your whole family?
It's mainly my dad. You know, Dad'll bring Mom along. She rides in the passenger seat side by side, but it's a thing my dad and I have been doing on a regular basis. I'm getting my oldest one into it, Ryder. He's got his own four-wheeler. He'll go with us sometime.
And I have talked about you a lot previously in my newspaper column. Not just Jeff Dunham and the fire prevention parade and the poker tournament, but I think I covered one of your weddings, and I did an article for you when Carson was born premature. How is he coming along?
He's excellent. He he was 2 pounds 15 ounces when he was born, so he was like third percentile. By the time his 1 year checkup rolled around, he was in like, I say it was 89th percentile.
Yeah.
So it barely slowed him down.
I was 2 pounds and 3 ounces, and I was born 15 weeks early, and that's why I've spent my life in a wheelchair with cerebral palsy. But I'm thankful that in the last almost 40 years, they've made tremendous advancements for premature children, and it's wonderful that Carson has come along so well. You still call him Bean?
We haven't referred to him as Bean for a while.
Yeah.
She does every now and then. She's even got her tattoo as part of her tattoo sleeve. She's got a little bean sprout for him.
That's awesome. And Ryder, I was there. I was at Ryder's baby shower long ago. How old is Ryder now?
He just turned 8 on December 4th.
And my daughter is 8. Bella is 8. She will be 9 in May. So you have a beautiful, beautiful family.
I appreciate that.
And I'm glad to have been a part of helping them in some way. So I'm glad to see that Carson is doing well. What kind of things is Ryder into?
Ryder, he's, I don't want to say he's your typical 8-year-old, but he's definitely got those tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
Minecraft and gaming.
Oh, yeah. You have to watch the screen time for sure.
Yep. One of the things that he and I did actually last winter around this time was we built a gaming PC together. So he can play his Minecraft, and I'll commandeer the PC when I want to play some games, when I find the time to sit down and play.
Yeah, and I guess as the years have gone on, you have less and less time to do those things. And where are you working now?
Right now I'm driving a tanker truck, so delivering diesel fuel.
Wow, all around the country or just in the area?
Thankfully, I'm local now.
Okay.
We started a business back in January, and I was actually running my own truck nationwide, and that was a hassle. Gone from the family too much, and the truck was unreliable because we couldn't afford a brand new one. But we sold out on that. So I'm business partners with my dad too. So in addition to hanging out riding 4-wheelers on the weekends, we're business partners, and we're diverting away from running the transport company to real estate, property management, vacation properties. So that's
wow. Okay. So does the being father and son and being business partners, does that kind of rub sometimes, or do you find that
absolutely?
Yeah, I would imagine, knowing Randy as I do.
Yep, and we butt heads, but we're both trying the best for our respective families.
Yeah,
and my brother.
And you're very close, obviously.
Yeah.
Family was always very close. Always made me feel like I was a part of it, which I always appreciated, and it means a great deal to me. I still consider you and Lucas brothers, even though I have not seen Lucas in years. How is he doing?
He's doing well. He's driving. He's delivering food to local schools and restaurants. So he's doing well. And
he has 2 beautiful children as well, which I enjoy seeing grow up on Facebook. Parker and Presley.
Yep.
And I know you're a very proud uncle as well.
Oh yeah.
So coming back to the photo, what was the contest that your mom entered the photo in? And there was more than one photo she had, right?
No, the other photos were different entrants.
Okay.
But the page, that's Southern Gap Outdoor Adventure Park. It's a campground out there. They're located right at the trailhead of one of the spearhead trails. I can't remember which exact spearhead trail. But that's, if we don't go to the Hatfield-McCoy Trail system in West Virginia, we go out there and ride spearheads, and we stay at that campground.
And this is in Southwest Virginia that you're talking about?
Yep, out in Grundy.
Oh, the Virginia, Kentucky tip of Southwest Virginia.
Yep.
Gotcha. Now I've always wanted to visit that Hatfield and McCoy area, historical area. Is that pretty cool?
Oh yeah, and they've got hundreds and hundreds of miles of trails, and everything's mapped. Dad has his tablet in his side by side with GPS mapping, so we don't get lost as much as we used to.
Yeah, but there was part of an adventure in getting lost in a place like that, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, and it's one of those things, you know. Dad, he's been going out there, you know, before it was Hatfield McCoy Trails. They're sanctioned by them, but before I started riding, and there's still places he hasn't been. There's a nearly unlimited, amount of trails to explore.
Right. And now with how do they link like the Hatfield McCoy Trails? How do they link it to like the trail that they went when they're feuding, or is it just trails that are put in the area where they lived, or how do they link that up to the history?
I think it started, near where they lived. There's a place, town in West Virginia called Mattawan.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or maybe the locals call it Matewan.
It's a Matewan. There was a movie called Matewan.
Yep. One of their trail systems is in Matewan.
Oh, very cool.
But really, Phil McCoy now is just the sanctioning body. The name of it's been, I want to say industrialized. It's just the company now.
Right. The name to carry the progress. Yes. But the movie Macon was actually filmed in Thurman, West Virginia, one of those old abandoned railroad towns, and I've actually been there. That's at the New River Gorge. So that's a very beautiful area.
Yep.
So it was, because I'm very ignorant when it comes to these types of vehicles, it was a four-wheeler that you were on.
Yes.
And when was that taken?
When was this? It was late November.
Oh, so this was very recent.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And were you surprised to find yourself as a finalist? Or your mom is a pretty good photographer, so I don't know if you were that surprised or not.
I wasn't even aware that that picture was in until I became a finalist. I was like, well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I remember. I guess the only time I've ever been on a four-wheeler, the only one I can remember anyway, Lucas put me on one. And he basically sat me in front of him, and off we went. And Gina was taking pictures then. So you have a beautiful farm over in Rural Retreat. I guess it's your mother's family farm?
Yep.
Is it a dairy farm, or what's it?
It started as a dairy farm, founded by my mom's dad. Wayne grew up in 1955.
1955, you said.
Yep.
But
now it's owned by my two uncles, Ronnie and Johnny, and they both have their respective beef cattle. They've gone away from dairy.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So are you involved much in the farming part of it, or you just, I guess, with all that you have going on, you don't have time for any of that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so when you became a finalist and then you actually won, it was chosen. Did your mother win anything, or do you win anything?
She got a $100 gift card to the campground there, Southern Gap Outdoor Adventure Park.
Very cool.
I expect some of that to be shared.
Well, I think it should be.
Dropping a hint here.
I think it should be. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if me lobbying for you will count for anything, but I think I think it should be. There wouldn't be a picture after all if you didn't say, hey, I'm gonna jump in this hole and we'll see if I can make it. Thank goodness you did make it.
Right.
What kinds of things does the park outdoor park offer?
So they've got their campground. Obviously, they've got places you can bring your RV or tent. They've got a number of cabins. I want to say 4 cabins that you can rent.
Hmm.
And then their big, I call it the lodge. It's a massive log building that, like an event center. They do weddings and stuff.
Cool.
And like that, they're right there at the Spearhead Trail System. So there's a lot of people, even if you don't ride four-wheelers or ATVs, you can go. They've got nature observation decks for the elk and the deer in the area and stuff like that. There's an apiary not far away that the Virginia Department of Animal Wildlife is doing with the bees, the pollinators.
Right. So there would be something, for instance, for someone like me to take in if I decided to go there. Okay, that's good to know. Do you still do any of the motocross?
Yeah, how scared we can get you.
Oh, yeah, that's always been one of the great joys of my. I think that's why you kept me around so many years, because I entertain you with my nervous tics.
You got to share adrenaline.
The CP tics, yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I was about to ask you if you wanted to share, because I've commented on our friendship. If you wanted to share any particular memories or give an assessment of our friendship from your opinion, from your side.
Like I said, it's one of those things I enjoy, getting you out of your comfort zone.
Yep.
But still, having to respect your boundaries, but not always abiding by them.
Which was great, because as I've said, you and your brother are responsible for giving me some of the most fun memories I've ever had in my life. So I'm very grateful to the both of you, and I hope your brother will hear this podcast and give me a call, because it'd be nice to hang with you guys again.
Right.
Because when I knew you, you were just this 14-year-old kid with curly hair and had the most wicked sense of humor of anybody I've ever met. And we clicked right away. Like I knew right away we were gonna be friends forever, because we both had that sarcasm thing going on.
Right.
And then I would spend the night at your house, and I would wake up to your father dangling his dirty socks under my nose and saying, "Wake up, Sleeping Beauty." And then your mom would feed me waffles, and it was a great time. You guys have always been very, very good to me, and like I said, I consider you and Lucas my brothers. So, like I said, I hope he'll hear this and give me a call. Do you guys still do the motocross thing, or is that?
We don't. I'm too fat and out of shape. Ryder raced a little bit, but it's super expensive. But so we got away from being competitive. But he has his four-wheelers here and still rides regularly, but he doesn't race.
That's cool. He is such a cute kid.
So he takes after me.
He is such a cute kid, and he's got that smile, that wild smile, that the killer watt smile that y'all could flash and charm any girl,
Right.
So he definitely has that. So I'm sure
he's in jiu-jitsu now, being trained by Robbie Ring at the Ring Combat Sports. He just today, an hour and a half ago, he got promoted to an orange belt, so that was a proud moment.
Very cool. Congratulations, Ryder. He was promoted to an orange belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
That's awesome. So you were there for the ceremony and all, and you'll have pictures up and everything?
They'll have pictures on their Facebook page. Once I see them, I'll be sure to tag you.
Yeah, or just let me know they're there, because way to go, Ryder. He doesn't know me, but he wouldn't remember me, but he would. The last time I saw him, I think it was at like Withers Park, and he said, "Hey, I saw you at something we were at together." And he said, "You were there with my daddy, weren't you?" And I said, "Oh, yes, I was. You do remember me. Let's go." So that's awesome. Now, did Parker ride for a while too?
Yeah, they all still ride. We've got many would say we have too many youth four-wheelers here. There's a four-wheeler for Ryder, Parker, Presley, their little cousin Lane, who's in the same age group, and one for Carson when he's ready.
Oh, you've already got one for Carson. So would you say
we maintained the one that all the other kids learned on?
I see.
Carson's the next one up.
Right, I gotcha. So would you say that your kids have more wheeled toys and mechanics to play with than you and Lucas did?
As a collective, they do.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you taking this much time with me. Is there anything else you wanted to add about the photo or the outdoor park, or anything I can put in with that part of it?
No, like I said, we'll have to get you out there. I'll definitely be out there more this season than last, because like I said, I was on the road with my company last year, so that was a bit depressing. Riding is a release.
Sure.
So I can get you to experience that.
Yes, indeed, and I'm sure a memory will be made, at least one. I'm sure many.
Right. And we'll, almost every time we go out there, we'll see some elk, that they've started reintroducing in the area.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. You really, where you live in Rural Retreat is just really, and where your granddad's farm was, is some of the most beautiful country I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's why we're still here.
Yep, and I know you must feel very privileged to have grown up, in that type of environment.
Yep.
Yeah. So, well, thank you very much again for taking the time to do this. It's great to catch up with you, and
yes, sir.
Thank you for all the wonderful memories. I love you, buddy, and let Lucas know I love him too, and would love to catch up with him as well. So,
gotcha.
Just give me a holler, and I'd love to go out there, and we'll create some more memories.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you so much, buddy, and I'll do you a good story and give your family all my best.
Yes, sir. We love you, man.
Love you too, buddy. Thank you so much.
Yep. See ya.
Bye-bye.